good, y'all? I got something a little special for you. I know I say it every time, but today is very special. What's good? Today, we are looking into the grow wall. I'm gonna be showing you what I got going on, what I got growing, what I got propagating, and how it's doing. What's good? And I'm gonna give you a little bit of the setup, you rigmarole, diggity-doo. You know what I'm saying. I'm gonna give it all to you. So, without further ado, let's get into the wall, baby. Ah! What's good? So, I'm really excited to share with you guys my grow wall propagation station rigmarole. You know what to do. So let's take a deep look into this, and I just kind of want to show you what I'm working on over here and kind of what my idea is with this and what purpose it will serve during the summer. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I kind of put this together because I had so many plants and I just didn't have enough room during the winter time to have them in a place where they were getting an adequate amount of sunlight and would be able to thrive and hold over until the spring when I could put them back outside. So I built this grid grow wall system, and to be honest, it's worked great. Like, the only thing I could say about this that I would probably change for next year is heat mats on the bottom for the roots, because when it does get cold during the winter, the bottom of the floor does stay a little colder than these, just because how these are elevated and below they have the lights. This heats up the roots in the pots, so they actually thrive. The only ones that I saw had a little bit of a harder time were the ones at the bottom, but this setup honestly held my plants over and they were extremely happy and growing a ton. The only thing I would say is if you guys are gonna do this setup, make sure you have an automatic turn off and turn off switch that works consistently, because I did have a family emergency and I had to go out of town for 2 weeks. And when I went out, the lights didn't turn off. So some of the leaves got chloroticized because they were just under grow lights for 2 weeks. But thankfully, nothing died. If anything, it just doesn't look as pretty right now. But that's fine, because during the growing season, we'll grow it back. Let's take a closer look at how the setup is put together, and then we'll look at what I got in the prop boxes and everything. So down here, I just have these trays because I didn't want water falling on the floor, and it's just easier to water a bunch of plants when they're in a tray, because if it falls in the tray, it kind of just becomes this little humidity pot or whatever. You don't want them sitting in a ton of water, but it helps that you don't have to worry about it leaking out or falling on your floors, yada yada, whatever. So that's one. Up here I have 3 grow lights next to each other, and the girls are getting their zhuzh. And then above, I have this on a grid, and then I just have them connected onto the grid, and then I have them again in the little trays, just so that when I water, the water doesn't fall on the ground. And it seems to work. And one thing is that sometimes I overwater them, and I kind of let the water sit in there, because how this does heat up because of the lights, it kind of evaporates and it helps with aerial root growth. And I've seen growth even on the brick wall, and the roots are attaching, which is pretty cool. So, and I found that it really does help the humidity in the area, and the plant seems to love it. So yeah, I just repeated that on this level and on that level. And yeah, these are pretty open air because these plants were a lot bigger when I brought them in after the winter. But what I did is I kind of kept these 3 open and the bottom one, but then I added humidity domes to the top 3 because I wanted to have a place where I could propagate, or with my alocasias, when I bring them back in and I go to repot, I could take all the little bulbs out, put them in there, and then germinate them, which has worked amazing. Or cuttings, just throwing them in there and letting them root before I bring them outside. And these have worked incredibly. I can't wait to show you what I have growing inside. But yes, this is a setup. Right over here, I have a strip switch with all the lights connected. You could honestly just turn them all on and off. Let me see. and your lights are off. So it works super easy, and it literally was, let me turn all these on one more time. So it was super easy to set up, and it honestly was a lifesaver. I kid you not, during the winter, because I needed it to be able to keep all these plants alive, because I just didn't have the window space or the natural light, or like even with like a pendant, you only just get so much surface area that light hits, that this is so much more well-rounded, and it covered so many, and they grew great. So I definitely recommend it. If you guys want to know what products I used and all that, just look below, and I'll tag what I used. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Now let's move to the humidity boxes, because I want to show you how amazing they work. All right, so I've taken down that humidity box, and it is right here. So without further ado, let's do the reveal on the grill. All right, so with these humidity domes, I keep them closed, just so you can see, because they have little holes, but I keep them closed just so it stays very humid and the heat kind of concentrates. And I put everything that is like a rehab in here and all that, and they seem to do amazing. So like I propagated my, and it stays so moist that even algae like grows in here, which is pretty cool. But I have like Syngonium rayi in here, which is starting to take off, Apelionia repens, some Decorsiva cuttings. Oh, right here. Okay, look, this is a lifesaver. So my Costas Amazonica variegata, I thought was a goner. Like when I was gone for 2 weeks, the coal burn in the room just kind of took it out. All the leaves dried up, and this was one of the tubers that I just like grabbed and put in here, like no leaves, nothing whatsoever. And look, it gave me a new growth, and literally I saved this plant, because if it wasn't for this humidity box, I think I wouldn't have never got it back. So these are a game changer, and like if you make a mistake, it's okay. Plants are really resilient, but this helped so much, because I think if I wouldn't have had this, the plant would have been a goner. What else we got growing in here? I have a Amydrium zepelianum, little baby, little varicosum, some Alocasia lauterbachyiana. I have some Geogenanthus popegii and ciliatus right there. I have a philodendron melanochrysum, Rhaphidophora cryptantha growing, literally trying to attach to the pot, which is so cute. I need to repot her soon. A Rhaphidophora decorsiva cutting, this beautiful Scindapsus dark form doing her thing, and then right there I have the very sad Warocqueanum. Girl, I'm gonna keep you guys posted on what happens with her. And back here I just have a really sad Anthurium veitchii that I kind of neglected, and I kind of just forgot to water her. So I have her in here now, and we'll see what happens. But this is prop box number 1, and it is thriving. Let's move to number 2. Here we go with prop box number 2. So without further ado, let's reveal the grill. All right, we'll put this down. All right, so in here, I have a few different things. We'll start over here. Here, I have a bunch of ZZ Raven cuttings and a Zenzi cutting that is doing good. They look so cute. Right here, I have some Philodendron Majesty cuttings that I have rooting. This white stuff is rooting hormone, don't mind that. I have some Maranta Red and Lemon Lime, which I have propagating in here. Moving over here, I have a Alocasia Frydek, which this is what happens sometimes in here. So they grow so quickly that they start to push up against the roof and it snaps the leaves. But I'm not really worried about the first leaves with this. Like it's okay if this one snaps, because I'm more worried about it establishing root wise, because I took these little tubers off of the mother and I just want them to root. So I'm like, if this leaf falls off, it's all right. As long as it's green and it's still connected and it's still creating like sugars and stuff for the plant, I'll leave it on. When I take it out and I put it outside for the summer, I know it's gonna bounce back. So I don't need it to be pretty right now. I just need it to root and do its thing, but she's definitely doing her thing. Looking good, like that new leaf is looking super healthy. And right here, wait, what is this? Oh, I think this is an Alocasia Maharani. But what's kind of crazy is that the leaves kind of look like forgetti-eye. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Oh, and I think we have a little variegation spot right there, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I'll keep you posted on this. I just saw this, so let's see what this turns into. I'll keep you posted. But that is prop box number 2. Oh, and we just have some Brantiana cuttings just doing their thing. But yes, prop box number 2. Let's go to the last one, number 3. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now you can see the condensation in here is real. Like, we ain't playing no games. When I tell you that this is a humidity box, it is a humidity box. All right, let's see what we got going on in here. So in here, I threw another piece of the Costus Amazonica variegata. And we're gonna see what happens. Because when I saw the little one had the success that it did, I was like, let me put this in here and see what it does. Here I have Avilio nervum stump. Oh no, that looks rotted. I mean, it was a goner from that cold that came in here, so I'm not shocked. I'll actually take that out. I have some, in theory, I have some Philodendron verrucosum right here. This was the mother Maharani. She lost her leaves during that cold front that came in here and kind of took everything out. But I put her in here. She lost all her leaves, but she started putting out all these flowers, which happens when they're stressed. But I'm hoping she just puts these out real quick and then just starts to put out leaves again. Because I'm ready for this big girl to give me the huge leaves she was giving me last year. And another Georgiananthus Propagation doing its thing. A ton of little Alocasia Maharani babies coming up right here. Another Brantianum. I forgot what's in here. And that's pretty much it. That's pop box number 3. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Wow. That was amazing. That was beautiful. That was great. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys like the setup. But I will be giving you bi-weekly updates on this grow wall and the propagations because I'm about to switch it all up. Spring is here and I'm taking all these babies outside and I'm going to be using this solely as a propagation zone. So I will be keeping you posted on what I'm propagating and what I got growing at the moment. So enjoy and stay tuned. Now, if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and follow. And don't forget to hit that notification bell, ding ding, so you can be notified when I release a new video. Now, I gotta go. I gotta get into these propagations and I got some things to do. And I'm a little hungry, so I will see you later. Bye-bye.